Are you living your passion? What is your passion? Welcome to the Luxe Life Discovered podcast, where we talk with people who are living a lifestyle that reflects their passion, because we believe everyone should enjoy living their best life, their Luxe Life.
Hello, I'm Rick Steiner, back with another episode of Luxe Life Discovered. Have my co-host with me, Shannon Richmond.
Hi, Rick.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Thanks for having me back.
You're welcome. Why don't you introduce our guest today?
Oh, man. We have a special one in the audience today. We have Lauren Hopkins with Nate's Coastal Waste and Sanitation. Is that the new name?
So it's Nate's Sanitation, and that's our residential side, and
Okay.
our construction and commercial and recycling will be our parent company, Coastal Waste and Recycling. That's from Pompano.
So I just combined it all together.
We're just
Right.
like one married couple. It's a
Okay,
great family.
Okay. So can you tell us a little bit about Nate's? How did you become involved? What do you know about them? I know they've been around for a very long time, and now you're the face of. So can you tell us a little bit about how that became and what they do for us?
Well, I don't think you had anything to do with it, Shannon.
Oh, no, not at all.
Not at all. But getting to the history of Nate's, because even working for them for quite a while now, I just really learned about it myself. So it's really interesting. So it was a company started by Nathan Lisenby in 1989, and he had done trash services before and then went to the political side. And after his political job was done, he still wanted to be involved with the people, and there's like no better thing than trash. So he started driving around his pickup truck with a pen and a paper and signing up customers, and just having that relationship with the community was so important with him. And he continued to grow, and our owners were Larry and Candy Hardy, and they were his 324th customer.
Wow.
No, wow.
And yeah, really cool, right? And he continued to grow, and Larry was a banker, and Nathan needed a small business loan, so he walked into the bank, and Larry looked through all his books and said, "You're approved, and this is a great business, and listen, if you ever decide to sell, give me a call." And Nathan seemed to be pretty flattered by that. He went home and told his wife, and I think it became somewhat of a joke, like, if anything ever happens, call Larry. So 7 years later, the business continued to boom. Their dedication to customer service was just apparent in the community. And we went from like a small little mom and pop shop to about 7,000 customers.
Wow.
And
That's unreal.
yeah, I mean, it was a huge step for them then, because they started in 89 and continuing with that. Unfortunately, Nathan then did pass, but his wife remembered Larry the banker. So thank goodness it's a really small town, and Larry's not a popular name. So she went around knocking on doors and asking people, and about 3 weeks later, she finally found Larry the banker and walked into his office and told him what had happened, and said he had told me if anything happened to come to you and see if you'd buy the business. And
Interesting, yeah.
Right?
And you never know, just with one little word or phrase you say sometimes, how much of an impact that will have at some point.
I don't think he
Yeah.
ever would have really imagined that was going to happen.
Right.
So he jumps on the phone and calls his wife, who I believe had just retired. So she just got a taste of freedom from the work life. And he said, "Honey, I think we should buy this business." And she was a retired CPA, so numbers were her thing.
Right.
So she said, "Let me take a look." And she said, "This is a good idea." So they pulled together some strings and made it work. And they took it from 7,000 customers to our current to date was about 21,000 customers.
Wow.
We're a pretty small area, so
That's a lot. That's a lot of trash.
that's a lot of trash. And they just continued to do things like care about the community and donate and sponsor and be involved in the community, and just really be good pillars of the community. And they go to church, and they truly believe that everyone they see is just like them, and they just go to the store and everyone knows who they are. They want their customers to love them and not, have an issue. So
Right.
they just always did really well and continued to be who they were, and I think it did well.
That's great, yeah.
And you missed out because you haven't met Miss Candy or Mr. Larry.
No.
They're amazing, amazing people. When I tell you that, they would give you the shirt off their back.
They would do that.
Absolutely.
Wow.
I mean,
There's like so many
it
people
is.
here are like that. That's true. That's great. So now, they sold it, right?
So we continue to fast forward, and I think one of the most impactful things they had always told me was, "I just wish we found trash sooner." because they didn't find it till they were, later, like
Right.
almost retirement age. And they just said, I just wish we found trash sooner. Like, it's such a great business. Our team had such a good family aspect, and it was just fun. It really is fun. I love my job. So with that, then they were kind of retirement. Their kids are having kids. They want to be more involved. And a customer of theirs who has a vacation home on the West End came to them and said, I work for a trash company somewhere else, but I love your trash company. Like, y'all are doing it right. I love everything about it. I want to buy it. And they tried and figured things out. It just wasn't working out. And then the other thing is, we get asked for recycling all the time. I mean, everyone who moves to Bay County is like, but what do we do with it? Where does it go? So we've
So
always
you mean
wanted
just putting it in the bins doesn't count?
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It goes to the landfill. So, and it's only so big. We only have so much space.
Right.
And we've got to protect our beaches. That's such a big business aspect of who we are as a community too, is our tourism. So they wanted to bring recycling, but it's been tried by many companies over the years here, and it just never took off. And this said customer on the West End partnered with a company called Coastal Waste and Recycling in Pompano Beach and said, I know a company. And they said, well, we know a company over there. And we were really looking at him. And he said, well, my company's not better than your company. And he said, I bet it is. They said, it's Nate's. And he said, ours is Nate's. So it just made sense. They were both already looking at us as a potential partnership, and then came together and came to the table to Larry and Candy. And they said, you know what? This is right. This is right for... It's not just right for the bank account, right? It's right for the people, because that was the biggest thing for them, is other people had come and offered them money. It's a very successful, our company is so good. Like, our customers love us. And it just came time. They were like, you know what? This is the right company. And they have, so Coastal Waste and Recycling down south does recycling in all of their locations. So they know what they're doing. Right. And that's really the plan, is for them to take what they know down south and bring it here and build a state-of-the-art recycling facility. It'll be the first in the Panhandle. So
that's super exciting.
It is.
So what's the projected time frame on that? Is there...
I would say it's going to be a little bit. It's going to be, I'd hate to put like a firm timeline on it, just because there's so much involved in it. But I know that we're actively doing everything and anything we can to get it going, because we know the community needs it, and it helps us just be competitive in the market and all the other industries we're in.
Why do you think that hasn't happened before now? What do you think the reasons may be?
It's expensive. I mean, just to get started, we're right under probably $20 million to put in a facility, build the land, employees. I mean, it's a really interesting structure how they do it from down south, from my understanding of what I've seen. Their Instagram is really exciting to see, but they have a huge conveyor belt where they have staff along and sorting, and it's a full operation. So I think that's the biggest difference too, is they actually recycle. There's other companies that you can separate. They're not truly recycling, where they're truly recycling and putting it back to use and selling for commodities. And I think that's what's exciting. So I can't say exactly the time frame. But
this episode of Luxe Life Discovered is brought to you in part by Steiner Event Group. Steiner Event Group is a national event planner that produces results for their clients. They offer event and wedding planning on any scale, hosting bridal shows, scouting talented models, and producing riveting concept photo shoots to help their clients expand their brands, products, and services. Whether you're a business professional aiming to take your brand to the next level, planning a corporate or private event, a bride seeking to have the wedding of your dreams, or a model ready to be discovered, Steiner Event Group is ready for you.
Well, that's interesting, because I mean, I heard you at 12 at the chamber one day, and that's what interested me, because you think of a sanitation service, you don't think about everything that goes into it, the possibilities, and the history of this one was just so unique, and the fact that there's so many customers that love Nate's, we have, well, I won't talk about ours at home, but we don't love them, but it's interesting to see how well that Nate's connects with their customers here.
We really try.
Yeah.
I mean, yesterday we had a meeting with a large resort here, and the president said to us, I'm also the president of a board of an HOA, and you've been our service provider for a year and a half. And if your commercial service is anything like your residential service, this is going to be the best decision we've ever made. And that's just such a compliment.
Yeah.
I mean,
so I will say, you probably are making Larry and Candy very proud because they were all about this community. They always wanted to give back. So everything that you see, to beach cleanups, to, Rick's on the board with me, he's helping us with Beach Care Services with the dinner. And the first thing we need to do is find a presenting sponsor. You always have to do that. Mm-hmm. Nate's came to me and says, we want that spot.
I know, that's great.
What do you have?
Yes.
We want. So they're our presenting sponsor to give back to Beach Care Services and the community. And then they have beach cleanups. Do you want to tell some of the community things that you do? I mean, Larry and Candy are probably over there going, yes, keep it up. But you guys do so much to help our community. Do you just want to touch on a few of those?
Yeah, and I think that's why Larry and Candy they went to you to bring on something new to Nate's, and that was going into the commercial industry. We were in it, but people didn't know we did it, and then being more involved in the community. And I think that's what, since Coastal has purchased us, they just love what we do here, and they just love seeing how well we are in the community, because that's who they are down south. They are the Nates of the South. Yeah. So they love having a company here that represents Coastal so well. So we have partnered with All Things Panama City Beach to do their beach cleanup, which was a 5-week event for the kids to actually go out, clean, and earn skimboards. Mm-hmm. We've done Keep PCB Beautiful. We're in the process of, with a sports complex, actually. That's probably one of our biggest to date right now, is we are the sponsor there. We have about 35 signs throughout the park for the next 3 years. We just saw the tourism and the value there.
Sure.
And we want our community and our families that go there to watch sports to know we take care of them. So, we're really doing, if you ask, we're doing the rodeo. We just signed up to sponsor the rodeo.
Where's the rodeo?
It's November 19th and 20th. It is for the Bay County Sheriffs, and they're putting it on with Toyota and
Fun.
Bay Point Golf Scholarship. We just signed up to do as well. So if we can help, we really, really want to help, and we just love being a part of the community. And it's not just the inside the office. Like, our drivers are incredible. Like, go on our Facebook page and watch the videos of little kids in the front yard dancing with our drivers.
Oh,
like, it's the sweetest thing, especially during COVID when no one could have face. Our drivers were in the front yard dancing, and the kids are in the house dancing, and like grandma's videotaping.
How fun.
Yes.
And that's the thing. If you're a service provider, if you don't have a connection with them, I get stories of, we recently just got one, a local of the county had passed away, and our staff is with us for life. So they've had the same driver for years, and every week she would come out and talk to them, and her kids were far away, and they had this great relationship. Well, a couple weeks went by and noticed her trash hadn't been out, and the son came to greet them and let her know she had passed away, but she valued them so much. She's like, she left you this, and she left them both money in envelopes for her trash team.
Right?
Yes.
Wow.
And that's the relationships. Those are the types of things our guys just love, really being a part of who we are, and it's a really cute. It's awesome. I love it.
So I'll tell you one thing that I found working with you is being a part of the community means a whole lot to you and your company. So when you started at Nate, you're like, all right, these are all the things that I need made. These are all the things I need done. Tell me who our chamber members are. Beach chamber members. Tell me who the beach chamber members are, and we want to do business with members. So she's taken, and she could have, because they're all down south, she could have used whoever they're using, but instead she's giving it back to our community. So all of our local communities she's doing business with, so she's bringing that here.
That's great.
That's awesome.
That's part of their belief too, though. It is really the culture and being a part of the community, because the community will make or break you. If a community loves you, they will fight for you to stay there and be their provider. And if they don't, they'll kick you out. So, I think Coastal truly is that same way down south. Their owners are 4th generation garbage owners, and they just love that mom and pop feel. It's owned by a young man, and his dad sits the board. It's a really cool company to work for. I feel so incredibly blessed that Shannon introduced me into Larry and Candy. Then I've transpired into this Coastal world, and it's just it's so exciting.
And it's neat, you can go from that world to the coastal world and still have that same sense of community and involvement
and passion and love for your job. Because
exactly.
when those happen, it's like, oh my gosh, everybody's probably gonna. But they kept everyone.
Everyone on top of, we just started growing so quickly because we just, I don't even know how to explain it. We just had more. It was like we were doing so well already, and they saw like, y'all might need a new truck. You might need this. Let's send you this. And we were like, well, we need more people. Let's hire. Like, so we're hiring. We've been hiring, and it's not because we're losing people, which I think is really interesting because I meet with businesses all the time that are struggling with staffing.
Yeah.
But they've lost people, yeah.
We're not. I mean, we've had one lady retire. But she was retiring anyway. It had nothing to do with it. She was just the age. So I love that. We've really kept, and we've added too. We've got some new people that they've hired in from different companies from all over the country, and that's been super fun to navigate and introduce them to Nate's. And I think that they feel like, I mean, you've even met Casey.
Oh, yeah.
He loves Nate's and like what Coastal is doing for Nate's and how this like relationship has grown, and just, it's just like a really exciting time to be a part of something so big.
With By the Sea Resorts, you have so many options, you never have to settle. By the Sea Resorts offers 5 restaurants and 11 hotels where you can enjoy the sights and the sounds of the Gulf, spread out in spacious guest rooms. Or book your next event or meeting in one of our many customizable spaces. For dining, we're serving up sunshine and good times at all 3 of our Barefoot restaurant locations. Or experience waterfront dining at the Shrimp Boat Restaurant. And enjoy live entertainment every weekend at House of Bourbon. By the Sea Resorts. We're saving you a front row seat.
Well, at home where I live, who the provider is for your sanitation services, but I would never think about having any kind of connection with them other than the fact I'm mad if they don't pick my garbage up at 9:30. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing that impressed me, because thinking about doing this podcast is, about Luxe Life, about the people living their passion, living their best life. And I heard you at that 12 at 12 at Chamber, and I thought, I want her on my podcast. And I would have thought of all the topics that I would have gone through of who I wanted. If before I met you, I would have never thought about it. And I don't mean that ugly, but, never, because it's like, what can you talk about? But just the philosophy of your company and the passion, that makes it community, and it makes it just unreal. So, I can see why people like Nate's.
And we love it. I think the coolest thing, too, is you can just call us. Like, there's no prompts. There's no pick one. There's no nothing. Like, pick up the phone or stop at our office.
And it goes local?
It's local.
Oh, wow.
It's local.
Who knew? No.
We laugh, but, like, our ladies get flowers all the time. Our collection lady gets the most flowers sent to the office. And I'm like, Rhonda, I don't get it. I go to companies and save them money.
And they don't send
me anything.
Wow.
Rhonda takes their money and they send her flowers. And I listen to her all the time and feel like, oh my goodness, Rhonda, we were waiting for you to call. I was like, what? So you knew your bill was due? You just wanted to hear from Rhonda. That's it. Like, that's how fun it is. It's just,
that's great.
It's
so
a good
if she'd
sense.
called 2 weeks before, they'd have paid earlier. They're just waiting.
There you go. Exactly. But and like you said, we have a lot of original staff too that was from the original owners that stayed on and have continued to stay on, and it's just like,
wow.
It's, I mean, but like, we do cool things like this. This month we're giving away, every staff member gets a turkey. So on the 19th, I'll load my car up with all 65 plus turkeys and deliver them to the staff. We do dinners and just fun giveaways and events.
Well, they feel appreciated, and that's huge.
I think that is a difference too.
So would you have ever thought you would hear this conversation about trash?
No,
Right.
no. That's why
It's pretty amazing.
No, it is.
I didn't ever think I would love selling trash. Like, I never was like, I know what I'm going to do.
I want to grow up,
I want to sell dumpsters. But I love it. Because it's really, that's just the item. We really sell the service.
Right.
The fact that we'll be there, the fact that we care, we consult our customers. I mean, we run into it all the time that a provider has been doing one thing this one time and you've had this issue, and I come into the situation, I'm like, but we could just do this way. And I'm like, what? You can do that? Well, yeah. I mean, we consult with our customers to do what's best for their house, for their business, what works for them, not just to like line our pockets. Like, we care. We want it. So, and we have.
And that it shows, because if not, you wouldn't be growing. That's the rate you're growing.
Oh my goodness, it's incredible. I could throw numbers. This is incredible. We're at like 250% from last year, commercial business wise,
Really?
because so many businesses are so happy to do business with a local provider that's right there, that cares, that's involved in the community, that's active. So it's fun.
So what area do you cover?
Currently, all of Bay County,
Okay.
and looking to expand, but our Pompano office has like, let's see, I'm going to get in trouble. Pompano, Miami, Broward. I mean, we're like all in the
wow.
mix.
So,
So
yeah.
I think the idea is that we'll kind of bridge the gap and then start. And we've even now got some territory in Georgia,
Oh,
up
really?
there
Wow.
in Augusta, I think it is. So it's just such a fun, exciting time to be a part of a young company that's growing.
And
But
so how long have you been with them?
just over a year now, just going on a year.
But so in that year, though, the growth that you've seen has been amazing already.
It is, and it's just so exciting.
And you know, when somebody goes from one business to the next business, it's just probably so scary. What, like, oh my gosh, are they going to keep us, or is it going to be the same? Is
They
everything
haven't
going to
changed
change?
yet.
But they loved what Larry and Candy were doing, so they're actually finishing doing that and adding some things of their own. And now the transition is like, wow. Yeah, I mean, I'd be scared to death if somebody said, somebody just bought the company, but you'll be fine. But look at you. You're growing. The company's growing. You guys are having fun. You're out in the community giving back. I mean, it's super exciting to see it.
I mean, I love it. I think the first time our sales president of marketing and sales, came down to meet with me and see me, and I'm like mortified. And he's like, I just want to follow you. I'm like, so what do? I take him to a chamber event. Like, no pressure, Shannon, impressed. But I mean, it was.
It's up to you, Shannon. Make me look good.
All right. But it was. I love that he got to see how I was and our company is involved in the community and other businesses. And I immediately was kind of like, well, what do you need from me? What can I do? Like, what does Coastal expect of me? What are all these things? And he's like, you guys aren't broken. We didn't buy you to fix you. We bought you to marry and grow, and just keep doing what you're doing. And, we'll spice it up, add some new things in there. Like, if you notice, our cans are now blue and gray instead of red and gray. And our dumpsters are bright, shiny blue instead of gray. So, like, things like that.
Yeah.
But our trucks now have big American flags on the back. They're really, really patriotic. That was something, too, that was fun. So we offer free carryout service for disabled veterans.
Wow.
Oh, really?
So if you're a disabled veteran, you can contact us, and there's just like a form you have to fill out, and basically we take your trash can to and from the road. So you don't have to
How
take the trash
nice.
out.
That
So,
is, yeah.
yeah,
What a
so
great
cool.
service.
Well, it's a great service like that, and it goes back to Nate, the original owner. I mean, how that mindset has stayed and then grown with the other two other owners, and then now with the current owners. That's pretty impressive.
We try.
So-
I think we try really hard to be who he wanted that company to be, and how we've just continued to grow.
Wow.
I love it.
I know.
I mean, it's just
interesting,
so
yeah.
exciting. Look, I'm listening like this to
I
try.
know. I'm waiting for more. Yeah.
I mean, it's exciting for me because I have kids that go to school here, at Breakfast Point, and that's part of our recycling, vision is to take it to the schools. And the fun part for me is, I can be part of that committee that takes the, the recycling coloring books and brings the truck out and talks to the kids. And my kids already think I'm super cool, so even better, right?
Yeah.
They think it's awesome.
Well, you know what's going to happen when they do start that program? You're going to have more on your plate than you want, because that'll be automatically yours. So,
I love it though. It
Yeah.
is like my baby. So.
well, that's awesome.
And don't you guys have this like cool golf cart that looks like a dumpster or a dump truck or something?
It does. We've taken it to a couple events now. It's
really?
It's a golf cart that it looks like a dump truck, and it has like the actual bed of it lifts, and it's quite the sight to see. It's fun. The kids love it.
This episode of Luxe Life Discovered is brought to you in part by Orville's Men's Store. Thank you, Orville's Men's Store, for supplying the men's clothing for today's podcast. For the absolute best in casual and dress wear for men, visit orvillesms.com. That's ORVILLESMS.com.
I love that too. So, we did at the Panama City Beach Chamber, we did a school drive to bring.
Where do you work?
Panama City Beach Chamber of Commerce. Anyways, we did a school drive. And so I tell Lauren, hey, we're doing a school drive for this business after hours. And usually, we'll get a handful, a nice table full of items. And we tell her they roll up in the dump truck loaded with school supplies. It took 3 cars to get out of her truck the school supplies.
That's great.
And everybody that time it was just like Christmas. Everybody was so happy to give back, but they rolled up in style.
Yeah, they did in style. Yeah.
Yeah, we wanted to show our new trucks. So.
Well, what you're saying, it all sounds so like what it should be. Like every business should have that mindset. And it's going to challenge me to be more giving in some areas too. But I just love that mindset. I love the community aspect of it. And just like you said, who thought that this would be one of our topics we'd discussed in the beginning of our podcast, but when it started. But you impressed me at the luncheon. So
thank you.
You did. So what do you do when you're not Nate's?
Well, I have 2 little boys that keep me really busy.
Okay.
And a husband, so we fish a lot. We obviously live in the most beautiful area for fishing. Yeah. So we take the boat out and just enjoy. I somehow just enjoy being still in the community and
in your spare time.
Yeah.
She might even know how to
more charities and events.
Yeah.
Don't you know how to hunt?
A little bit.
Because I heard at an after hours, her and Heather Grice, they were talking about, and I was like, are they talking about hunting? Or girls?
Yeah.
I mean, but it was awesome because she's doing that here too. So it was just funny just to catch her off of not being Nate's and being Lauren. It was awesome.
A little bit.
Okay.
Night hunting is very fun here. A lot of people don't know. We have quite the wild.
Well, tell us about it.
Yeah.
We have quite the wild hog population.
See, I didn't know what you hunted.
Wild hog.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, they tear up a lot. I mean, I'm from the north originally, so deer is what I was raised hunting.
Right.
But
that's what I was assuming.
The deer here look like small.
Bambi.
Yeah, they look like small Labradors, so it's not the same.
Right.
But the hogs here are really big, and they kind of wreak havoc on the environment and tear up all the farms and eat the crops. So, because they dig and they eat the roots.
Yeah.
So, so we had a hunt lease for quite a while, and at night it's fun. It's different. It's scary.
When we take this on the road, we'll have to do a night hog hunt with Lauren from Nate's.
There you go.
We'll let Nate sponsor our hog hunt.
I mean, sponsorships and charities, right? I say a fishing trip first, but okay.
Okay, hey, we don't mind doing it. Yeah. Well, we appreciate you being with us today because it's been fun to learn more about Nate's, and I'm glad that everybody else can hear this as well because it's been you made such an impression on me, and I just thought this is definitely one business that I wanted to feature on the podcast because it's all about sharing the Luxe life, the best life, the people that live their passion, and this is not just one company. When one owner, it's from the beginning to the next owners and then current owners and what they plan to do with it to just expand on what's been established, and that's huge.
I think that's the exciting part of it is just for the longest time we were a small Bay County company, and now we're bigger and we're growing, and we're going to be able to breach our Bay County limits and bring our incredible service to the surrounding counties, to be a part of all the development here, doing all of our new roll-offs, and we're working with quite a few chamber members on some of the big projects. ESG has got us at La Chateau doing, and if you drive by, you see all of our beautiful bright blue roll-off containers, and just being in the growth of the county as well is exciting and expanding. And I think
great, yeah.
I just love that Coastal has brought this partnership to us, and now, I mean, they've partnered with Nate's as a team, but they are our owners, our parent company, and they're taking really good care of us. So we're really happy to be in their hands.
That's great. Well, thank you again so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. All right, and that concludes this episode of Luxe Life Discovered. Stay tuned as we have Larry Thompson of Grand Slam Sports, and we will be back soon. Thank you.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode and want to support our show, leave us a review. That's the #1 way to help this show reach others just like you. Join us next time for another Luxe Life Discovered.